Hey guys, and you read the title. In this video, we're going to learn how to make Five Nights at Freddy's in Scratch. So let's begin. We'll take a one green flag clicked, and then we'll make costume. We'll use the one cat costume. Just change it, and we'll just delete the second one. This first one will just be a very simple button. I'll just make it look a little nice. And on it, we will write cams on, short for cameras. So you want to turn on the cameras by pushing this button. Center the sprite. And yeah, that is the costume that you should have, but you can change it if you want. Now back to coding. So when green flag clicked, we will switch costume to costume 1 in case we decide to add any costumes in the future, or if you want to make the costume different. And then, most importantly, go to front layer. Then, we will make a new variable, naming it camera on. This will be a very important one, and it's for all sprites. We will set camera on to 0. Oh, and one more thing, we will remember to show. Lastly, we will go to the X and Y position where it is now. You can drag it to where you want it to go. So we'll have it go, for me, to X8, Y, negative 140. But you can change that if you want. Now it gets interesting. We'll make when the sprite clicked, we will set camera on to 1. And also, we'll broadcast a message, and we're going to call it show off, as in the show off button. Then, most importantly, we will hide. We'll make another message, naming it show on. And this, basically, when we push the show off button, it will show this button. So show on, show. And that is all for this sprite. We'll then duplicate the sprite, but we'll name the original sprite cams button on. And this button will be named cams button off. Secondly, we'll go to the one green flag click script. Everything's good except for the show block. We're just going to want to change that to a hide block. And when this sprite click, broadcast show on, and we're going to hide. And when I receive show off, show. And of course, we'll need to change this to cams off. You might have already done this, of course. So cams off. And now we'll try. If we push the button, it will show cams off, cams on, cams off, cams on. But of course, one more thing for the sprite click script, we'll just want to change this when sprite click camera on to 0. So that's all fine and dandy. Now we want to get started on the actual cameras. So first, make as many costumes as you want there to be rooms. I'll just make 3 rooms, so I'll get 3 costumes. And first one, obviously, if you're making Five Nights at Freddy's, it's going to need to be the show stage. Very important. But you can make this anything you want, really. It's your game, after all. So we're just going to do boop. And this looks terrible, I know. You can make it look infinitely nicer if you want. And then the animatronics are going to be here. So for now, we're just going to make them happy little smiles. Because why not? 1. They're very deranged and creepy smiles, though. 2. And then 3. So get rid of all this clutter. We'll just make this one green. You can make these any color you want, though, and make them look infinitely nicer. Next, I will just make, I don't know, just a room. Again, you can make this look much nicer. So just a nice little room. And then we'll make this room, the floor will be 2 colors. This one will be, the side of the floor will be white. And this slide will be black. Daring, aren't I? But again, you can make this look much, much nicer. This looks incredibly bad right now. So yeah, that's the stage. And now let's get to actually coding up the cams. We'll just name the sprite cams, as you may have expected. Now we're going to make a couple of events. The first one being the when I receive. We'll take that block out and just make camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3, because we have 3 cameras. The more cameras you have, the more messages you should make. Then when I receive this, we will set a variable. We're going to make a new one, name it camera number. We're going to set camera number. Just put it under all of these to their respective cameras. So, let's say we receive camera 1. We're going to set camera number to camera 1. Camera 3. And camera 2. Again, the more cameras you have, the higher you will want to make this. Then, after we do that, we will want to, let's just take a look at the costumes, and we'll want to change these to camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3. So after we do that, we'll want to make it so that one green flag clicked, hide. So as you can see, now it's hiding. But when we receive show on, we'll want to hide because it will show the on button. And then when we receive show off, show. Because if the show off button is on, the off, then it'll be on because we will want to turn it off. So as you can see, we'll test that out. We'll push the cams on button, shows, cams off button, it's off. Wow, how incredible. So now, we'll go back to the when I receive camera box, and we will then switch costume to camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3. Oh, we'll have to switch these. So that's great. And now we're done with the cam sprite. Let's just take a nice little look, and it's beautiful. The next logical step is to make the buttons for choosing which cam you'll want to go to. So, firstly, you'll want to make kind of the branching thing that Five Nights at Freddy series makes the camera layout. So, to begin, we will just make a very big outline, and perhaps, for now, of course, I'll make it like this. And I'll add white squares where camera buttons will be. So 1, 2, 3. Very nice, very different for each of them. Center the sprite, very important. And then drag that over to the corner. Firstly, we'll bring all of these scripts from the cams button there, besides the when I receive cameras. So now, when we push this, it'll show too. With that, we will go to the camera. We'll make camera buttons now. So, this one will be promptly named camera 1. So we'll just copy this little square from here. Actually, this one. Copy it. And now paste it. Don't move it, don't center it. And then here we will write cam 1. So, cam 1. Might need to size that up and down a little bit. And then move it to the center as well as you can do. And bam, that's your first camera button. But of course, we'll need to code it up. So we'll take these, the when I receive show on, show off, and all that, from the other sprites. 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll add a when this sprite clicked, broadcast camera 1. So let's try that. Oh, and of course, we'll need to simply put it where it should go. So, right here. So that's good. So, we will go to this position right here. So when green flag clicked, we'll put that there. So now, we'll just quickly go over to this costume and say, change it to camera 3. So now when we push this button, it goes to camera 1. Our beautiful camera 1. Wowie. Now, we will copy and paste the second square. this will be camera 2. And just copy and paste this entire sprite as it uses the generally same scripts. Instead of this beautifully designed camera 1, we will get rid of it. Why? And we'll paste cam 2, which we had. So now we'll write cam 2. Oh, and don't forget to do it in black. Then we'll just take it, maybe size it down a little, then put it into the camera. That being done, then we will bring this to where it wants to go, and yeah, it's pretty good. Now with that, we'll just change one thing. When the sprite clicked, instead of broadcasting camera 1, broadcast camera 2. So let's click it, and it goes to camera 2. Our beautiful, beautiful camera 2. Then, this will be cam 3. So we can just change this. Actually, we'll have to copy and paste the other one. So we'll just take that, copy, and then 3. And here. Oh, it's actually Sprite. Okay, so I have to actually search for Sprite 4. Should get to naming these soon. And we will simply just delete this. So, bye-bye. Just paste camera 3. Just go there. And on it, write in black, of course, or technically it could be any color depending on the background, cam 3. Size it down, and that's cam 3. And of course, broadcast cam 3. Now let's try cam 3. It works. So that's the camera system done. Now we'll have to work on the door system. But first, let's name our sprites, the ones that we haven't named, of course. Camera layout. We should name this one. We'll name this one camera 1. We'll name this one camera 2. And we'll name this one camera 3. There we go. Now everything's nice and sorted. With that being done, you can finally start working on the doors. We will make a sprite, naming it door left. With that, we'll just make a black rectangle. Technically, it could be anything you want, but for a door, it's going to be just a black rectangle. We'll bring that over there, and then we'll take a red and green flag clicked, and we'll have it go to its current X and Y position, that being negative 167, negative 26. You can change that to your liking, though. Now, we'll make some variables for the future, naming these left light on, for all sprites, of course. And that's it for this one. And we're also going to make one naming it right light on for the future right door. Then go back into the costumes. We'll now change the rectangle's color to a bright either white or yellow. Because for me, as of now, the background is white, I'll make it yellow. So that's the background for the square. And now we'll take when green flag clicked, and then take out a forever loop. We'll take an if and another if, and make it if, a lot of ifs here, if left light on equals 1, we'll want to switch costume to costume 2. That would be light. If left light on equals, you guessed it, 0, we'll want to change it to costume 1, the dark one. And then, of course, we'll take above the one green flag clicked, we'll put a show block in. And then when we receive door, then we'll make a new message, naming it door left light. Just back up in case something goes wrong. And we'll switch costume to costume 2. Then, of course, we'll take one green flag clicked, but it appears we already have one, and switch costume to costume 1 when green flag is clicked. And we already have it going to where it wants to go, and that is the first door, that being door left. So we'll just take door left, and then we'll duplicate it. You guessed it, door right. So door right. Then we'll simply move it there to the opposite end of the room. We'll change it to a positive number, the X position, and we'll keep the Y position the same. So now it's there. So that's good. Now we'll change the variables for here to right light on, the ones we made earlier. Usefulness. And then we'll make a new message, naming it right light on. Or actually, we should name it door right light. That's better. So as you can see, yeah, it's good. Now, of course, we'll have all the other scripts that we made earlier. So now we'll have to make the door covers. So in case an animatronic comes to your door, you'll close it on them. So we'll just copy and paste that original square. Make this door left cover. We'll paste this. And I'll just draw horrendous yellow lines. Prove that as security door. I'm excellent at art, I know. Now, go to door cover. We'll name it door left cover. And we'll take when green flag clicked. We'll hide it because the player doesn't want to constantly see it above this. So, hide. And then we'll take a new message, naming it left door close. Then this comes a part where you need to customize it. This will vary on the size of your door cover and your door, but I'm going to make it my change Y by -18. See how that works. So just click the script. Oh, and don't forget to show it. Show the door cover. Click it. That goes much too far, so how about -15? Will that work? Oh, and forgot to set the X and Y position for the sprite. Never forget to do that, as it can screw things up. So we'll set it to this. That's really good. Then we'll click it again, and we're going to need to change that a little more. How about -10? And then -12, maybe? Should this do the trick? It's done the trick. Hooray! Now found our sweet spot, but it will vary for each project. And then when we receive, we're going to make a new message, naming it left door open. We will just repeat 10, change Y by +12 this time, and then we will hide. So let's test those out. So first click the when I receive left door close. It closes, and then when I receive left door open, it goes back up and hides. That's good. We'll just need to repeat this for the right door cover. So we'll name this door right cover and get rid of the 2 at the end. And then we'll just change the X and Y position. So we'll just bring it, say, there. This time it's going to be -104. And then we'll click these. Oh, and one more thing. Do not forget we'll have to change this to right. We'll make a new message, naming it right door close. Okie dokie. And then we'll also name this right door open, as you may have guessed. So now, and maybe not make the Y position that, but put a negative at the end of the Y position. Put it at negative at the end of the X position. Now we'll try it. So right door close, but it's not on the right. We'll need to change the negative and get rid of it. So now it's going to be +167. So now let's push it. Boop, it closes, and then it opens. Perfect! Wow, this is getting really simple now.